Jerry Wimpy Halstead against Ray Mercer. They're going 10 rounds. Wimpy Halstead, as we mentioned, is a journeyman. He has been in there with some of the best in the heavyweight division, and he can bang.
Wimpy Halstead has been nibbling on the fringe of heavyweight contention for half a decade. And if he falls short in the big matches, he handles all the journeymen like Tim Tomaszek. Halstead, who has come all the way up from middleweight over the years, is not a big hitter. But he is crafty, and he knows more tricks in the ring than most Las Vegas magicians. But can he prestidigitate a win over Big Ray Mercer before he makes his own weight disappear and becomes a cruiserweight? That's the question.
And speaking of being on the fringes, he has a couple of fringes here tonight, doesn't he?
Well, he made some hair appear. That was a good magical trick.
Yeah, speaking of prestidigitation, that's a great, what's the word of the night? That's a sacred wine. Say the sacred wine, the duck comes down, does business on your head. Meanwhile, Ray Mercer is a guy who, as we said, is just kind of sitting around waiting for the phone to ring, and meantime, he's fighting. And there's a look at Ray Mercer. He comes in here probably about 15 pounds heavier than he really ideally would like to be, and he says will be should he get a heavyweight championship shot. Meantime, Ray Mercer has to take care of business, and to do that, let's talk about what he needs to do, Al.
For Ray Mercer, let's get serious. Cannot take Wimpy Halstead for granted. Double the left, single the right. Wants to use the left hook to the body and the head and double the jab before he throws that right hand, which has lots of power. Be greater later. You know Wimpy Halstead wants to take in the later rounds because Ray Mercer's always about 15 pounds heavier than he wants to be. And think big. Even though he's going to go small to the cruiserweight division, he's got to think big for tonight.
And because he's looking at a bigger opponent, Wimpy Halstead positively looks like a boardroom guy. Meanwhile, let's meet him now with Michael Buffer. Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Incorporated and the undisputed, undefeated King of Beer, Budweiser, present the featured bout of the evening. This bout is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Jerry Gormley, board members Gary Shaw and Richard Harrison, Deputy Commissioner Lawrence Wallace, physicians at ringside Dr. Frank B. Doggett, Dr. Howard Taylor, Dr. Earl Shaw, the timekeeper is Earl Curry, alternate referee Ed Cotton will be counting for the knockdown seconds, and the scoring will be done by 3 judges on the 10-point must system, Deborah Barnes, Richard Strange, and Tommy Kazmarek. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Trump Taj Mahal Casino Resort on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 10 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. The referee for this contest is Arthur Mercanti. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the royal blue trunks and weighing in at 209 pounds. He's from Midwest City and with a professional record of 77 victories, 59 KOs, 9 defeats, and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Wimpy Halstead. And And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the gold trunks with red and black trim, weighing 234.5 pounds, fighting out of Newark, New Jersey, this 1988 Olympic gold medal champion and former WBO heavyweight champion, brings a professional record of 19-1, 14 by KO. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the top-ranked heavyweights in the world today, Merciless Ray Mercer.
Good evening, gentlemen. You both know the rules of the Jersey State Athletic Commission. You obey the rules and I'll enforce them. Just understood? Shake hands now. Come out boxing at the bell. Thank you.
So there was a look at Jerry, call me Wimpy Halstead. Incidentally, you saw those signs saying Wimpy, Wimpy, Wimpy. What you didn't see is when they introduced Ray Mercer, there was a group of guys right alongside the people holding up signs saying Wimpy, 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 held up a sign that said Hefty, Hefty, Hefty. We start the first round.
He is pretty hefty, too.
Wants to work the jab. That's what Ray Mercer told us this morning. Starts out by doing just that.
Ray Mercer has a jab that is very strong. It's just a jackhammer punch. And one of the criticisms of him is that he underuses that punch.
He says he wants to pick it up. He also said he feels he has to go after Halstead. He said he needs to have an impressive win, not just a win. He has, you know, when you think about the attributes that make a heavyweight champion, Ray Mercer has an awful lot of them.
Yeah, he has a tremendous chin. He's got power, certainly. And that is a great combination because it means he's probably not going to be knocked out by too many people. And he can whack hard enough if he lands the punches right to get pretty much anybody out. But along with all that comes a lack of conditioning, often some serious mental lapses in fights like he had against Larry Holmes, and a lack of proper foot movement. So he's got the things that make a champion, but he's got some things that also keep him from getting there.
But interestingly enough, the things that keep you from getting there are things that you would think would be correctable.
Yes.
And you can't teach power, and you can't teach a chin.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a very good point. And so if you have those, you should be able to build on it. And of course, the chapter, the book rather, on Ray Mercer is hardly closed yet. We've talked about the fact that if he should get through tonight, which he expects to, there's a chance down the road the Riddick Bowe people may be calling.
He's hurting Halstead with almost everything he throws here.
You know, early in matches, and Halstead has shown it, you can land against Ray Mercer, especially early. But it's so hard to do any serious damage to him. You have to really be a puncher.
And of course, Halstead is counting on taking this fight into the later rounds, as he told us this morning. Wants to try to stay out of harm's way early in the fight. Hasn't been able to do that yet.
Now, normally, Halstead does a lot of holding. When he fought Tommy Morrison, Wimpy can kind of get in and tie his man up. He hasn't done too much of that yet.
Evidently, he feels that he had some excuses in the fight with Tommy Morrison. His dad, Leroy, had died right around the time of that fight. And that played heavy on him, as you might expect it would.
Well, the battle of the jabs, it's been pretty even here, hasn't it? Wimpy's gotten his share in also.
Well, Mercer out quickly, but Halstead finishing a little bit better. Very close first round.
My kid's big game, and I was out of deodorant.
Ray Mercer getting to Halstead and really pushing him back with every punch, even the jabs that land.
That was particularly true early in the round. At the end of the round, Halstead did a little bit of damage on his own.
He started landing his own jab against Mercer.
Look at the numbers on the jab. Very, very close in that first round.
Well, I said it was almost even, and by golly, it is. And both landing a good percentage of those punches. Now, there's Mercer looking for that hook. And I'll tell you, he lands one of those, and the Wimpy's going to have a problem. Talking about the experience of Wimpy Halstead. He has 87 total fights. which is almost as many as all the fighters on this card combined. 93.
He's been in there with some pretty good opponents, too, and has done well against some of them. I really think you were talking earlier about the fact that he's going down to the cruiserweight division. He can make a bit of a noise in that division.
Yeah, because the certain skills he has, I mean, his punches will certainly have more power against cruiserweight, and he'll be able to deal with the power of those boxers.
As he was telling us, he came in here at 207 tonight, and he said just a week ago he was 200. He has actually the opposite problem of most fighters.
Well, so he started out as a middleweight in boxing, so clearly it's he went way, way up. Went 9 rounds back in 1988 with Buster Douglas, knocked out in the 9th by Douglas, putting himself well. Went 10 with Pierre Coacher, to fight George Foreman soon, lost him in 10.
There's that jab of Ray Mercer. It really is an effective weapon.
The stigma that Ray Mercer is fighting is what he alluded to when he talked to us, and that is, I have to make sure I do something impressive in bouts because I have to be as marketable as I can be, or they can't use me as an opponent. I mean, I'm not useful to them. And he really understands that.
Ray's puffing a little bit, even this early in the fight.
Well, conditioning hurt him badly in the Holmes fight. And, you know, people forget, if he beats Larry Holmes, he's in there against Evander Holyfield. The winner of that fight was going to be there.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but there's a big cut over the right eye of Wimpy Halstead, and it is the kind of cut that really could be a problem. You can see Ray Mercer take a look at it. I don't believe it was caused by headbutt. I believe it was caused by a punch, and it's a pretty serious cut. And down he goes. The cut may not matter. Mercanti, I think, looking more at the cut than he is at how bad Halstead's hurt. That's a very bad cut, and I truly doubt that they will go too far with this. Going to go into Halstead's corner. Very bad cut. A lot of work to be done here.
There's Sean Gibbons, who will work on the cut, who, by the way, also is Buck Smith's manager.
I think that cut, Doc, is way too bad.
I don't see it.
They're going to stop it, I believe. Yeah, they're going to stop it.
And Sean Gibbons doing something that you don't hear cornermen do. He looked at the doctor and he said, that cut is way too bad, Doc. And you know what? Good for him.
Absolutely.
Good for him.
I give him a lot of credit for doing that.
And you know what? We've seen him with other fighters, with Buck Smith, Marty Jakubowski is his fighter, and Wimpy. He cares about the guys. He does not want to see them get hurt, and that's okay. And it is a terrible cut.
And it might have been caused by a lace. Let's take a look. You see. No question.
Yeah, because the way the punch came, it kind of laced across the or the tape even.
Yeah, it is the tape.
Oh,
In all fairness, the laces of the glove don't show because they tape them up, but that's gaffer's tape that they have on there, and that is a pretty rough surface itself.
That's a shame because, and then of course after that he got nailed with a left hand by Mercer. Excellent left uppercut, and down goes Wimpy Halstead. Well, he doesn't go too long. Normally, Wimpy Halstead. Oh, look at that cut.
That's a very serious cut. Very serious cut. And I think that fight is well stopped. Good for Sean Gibbons.
Mercer always does that pose after he wins.
What's up, Leroy? Kim. Peace.
Talking to some of his friends.
All right, let's get the official word right now from Michael Buffer. Mike?
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Arthur Mercanti, acting on advice of Chief Ringside Physician Dr. Frank B. Doggett, has to stop this bout because of a very severe laceration over the right eye of Jerry Halstead. The official time, end of the second round. Victory number 20 by TKO for Merciless Ray Mercer.
Ray Mercer comes out on the long end of a short fight. Bad cut. Might have been caused by the laces, but he wins. We'll be back to talk with him. to the center of the ring. A couple more winners, Al Bernstein and Ray Mercer. Al?
Thank you, Barry. Ray Mercer is, in fact, a winner tonight. And, Ray, this was a fight in which you wanted to get him out early. I think you wanted to score a knockout so you could put a real exclamation point on this match. Were you happy with that?
Yes, I was. First of all, I want to say, hey, thank Jesus, and say hey to Mel and Bell and my kids, Sean, Tierra, and Gabe. And yes, I wanted to knock him out. You know, he got cut, unfortunately, with my gloves, but he would have went out before the 5th anyway.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at the point. It was kind of an odd thing. You were throwing an uppercut, and here's where the laces kind of got him in a way.
Well, I don't know. It looked like a little glove got in there, too. You know,
possible, yeah.
Laces could have got in there, but all I know is, you know, he went down off a punch, so I'm pretty satisfied with my performance. We wanted to get in, get out quick.
And here is the